welcome back to my channel. Welcome back if this is your first time joining me. Welcome. My name is Hetty and I am a life, mindset and food freedom coach who specialises in helping women heal their relationship with food, ending binge and emotional eating. I post videos every single Sunday, so I'm really excited for you to be here. In today's video I'm going to be talking all about how to stop comparing yourself to other people. So I actually got this video requested from one of my Instagram followers. If you're not following me on Instagram, be sure to follow me. I will leave my handle down in the description box. I think it's quite a fitting topic right now because obviously the past week there was a photo shared by Kendall Jenner that has literally gone viral, and there's been a lot of talk about that picture. But it's obviously a picture of Kendall Jenner looking flawless as she always does, and there has been a lot of positive talk about it but also a lot of negative talk about it. A lot of people have been comparing themselves to this image of Kendall Jenner in her bikini, and she obviously looks how she does, and there's been a lot of, I think this image, even though it's, you know, it's not come from a bad place, but the reaction of people has caused a lot of people to feel very negative about themselves, comparing themselves to somebody like Kendall Jenner or Kylie Jenner, and feeling very inadequate about how they look. Obviously Kendall Jenner, if you're new and you're not sure who Kendall Jenner is, obviously she is a supermodel and she's also a billionaire. I know personally when my eating disorder actually began, it all stemmed from comparing myself to celebrities. Back then it was Paris Hilton, it was Nicole Richie, it was Mary-Kate Olsen, who was back then size 0 was in, and all of that super skinny look was very much in. Now it's exactly the same but just slightly different, and I think this can be so damaging sometimes to people that are very unaware of what they're thinking all of the time and how these images are affecting their self-esteem and subconsciously affecting their behaviours and their actions. So how do we stop comparing ourselves to other people? Because obviously on social media it's not just the Kendall Jenners of the world. There's influencers out there, there's people with amazing bodies, there's people with amazing lifestyles, with more money than us, better jobs than us, and all of these different kinds of things, better relationships, or what it seems. What we see on social media is only 1/4 of what you see of that person's life. Now I know this is something that you've probably heard so many times, but literally no one's gonna post their shit days on social media, and if you do, I love those kind of people, and personally they're the kind of people that I follow the most, which is what I'm going to be talking about very shortly. But a lot of the time people rarely show their lows of life and how they're feeling and how they're looking. People rarely show when they've eaten a load of food, or when they're at their heaviest, or not feeling super great, or not earning very much money, or just had a fallout with their partner. All of these different kinds of things, and we only see one tiny segment of a person's life, and we compare our moment right there and then when we're slobbing out on the sofa, maybe in our joggers, eating food or binge watching Netflix, and then we see somebody on the beach in the Maldives earning loads of money, and that obviously, that comparing ourselves to right now is so different, and it can really affect us very negatively. And I know obviously this is what has happened with this photo of Kendall Jenner. People have been comparing their bodies to Kendall Jenner and thinking, why can't I look like her? I need to go to the gym, or I need to work out, I need to look like her, and all of these different kinds of things. And this is where I think it becomes so damaging, because we become consumed by somebody else's life that is not ours, and we are aspiring to look like somebody else, when the truth of the matter is you are never going to be that person. You are you, and I know that can feel quite painful in the moment when you hear that, because you think, well, you know, I want to look like that person, or I want to get that much attention like that person. But this is what I'm going to be discussing in this video, on how to reframe your self-talk, your inner critic. Like I said, on social media, we only see one small segment of a person's life, of a person's body. There are things such as Photoshop, poses, and better lighting that all make a huge impact on not only just a person's body, but also their facial features, all of these different kinds of things. And I was actually super unaware of how much photo editing there are that goes on. Something called Facetune, I think it's called, where people can literally manipulate themselves. They can make themselves look more defined in their face. They can smooth out their skin and, you know, dimples and stuff like that. So there are so many things that affect you. You are only seeing one small segment. And the truth of the matter is, a lot of these people that we see on social media are, their drive for posting is attention and marketing. So usually, a lot of the time, these kind of images are being put out there to prey on your insecurities so that you buy a product. This is why the diet culture and the diet industry is so big and constantly fueling the fire, and constantly just having more and more people spend money in the diet industry, because it preys on our insecurities. You put out a flawless photo of Kendall Jenner or Kylie Jenner and they're marketing a product, people are going to buy that product because they see that image, they want to be like that person. And this is the truth of the matter, that a lot of what you see on Instagram, on social media, is all marketing. It is all a way to prey on your insecurities. So it is so important to look, when you are finding yourself scrolling on Instagram or whatever, that you take a step back and you actually see life as it is, because social media is not real. But unfortunately, we live in a world where we are being marketed all of the time for our insecurities and trying to get us to spend more and more money. In all honesty, the more we feel insecure, the more we are going to spend on things such as surgery, things like skincare, makeup, clothes, diet products, all of those different kinds of things. And I'm not at all saying any of those things are bad, but the more we feel insecure about ourselves, the more we are going to look outside of ourselves to change ourselves, because those marketing messages that we are getting subliminally are subconsciously telling us that we are not enough as we are. So we need to buy external things outside of ourselves to make us feel enough, to make us feel good enough. And that is exactly what has happened with a lot of these people with the Kendall Jenner picture. Not all of those people have, because some people have seen it and completely appreciated how amazing she looks, but also still appreciates them for who they are. Although this is very hard to do straight off the bat, because I know many years ago when I was struggling with my eating disorder, if somebody told me that, I would be like, I don't care, I just want to look like Mary-Kate Olsen. That will give me happiness. And the truth is, we can appreciate somebody else's beauty and somebody else's lifestyle, but we can also appreciate us too. And that is really the message that I want to share to everyone watching this video, that even though you may, you know, I love Kendall Jenner, I can appreciate how she looks, but also be objective when I start falling into that trap of wishing that I look like her, or wishing that I lived her lifestyle. Because I'm never going to. I'm never going to be Kendall Jenner. I'm never going to be her. So I need to appreciate and fully step into who I am and appreciate me for all that I am, whilst I can still step back and appreciate the Kendall Jenners of the world. Makes sense? I I don't know if that makes sense, but hopefully you're getting this. I also just want to say, for anyone that is really struggling with their body image or just comparing themselves right now, that you are amazing and that you are completely beautiful and totally valid. That you have a place on this earth and you are amazing as you are. You don't need things to make you a better person. And the more you can work on your own mindset, the more you start to see that, rather than looking at everybody else and thinking that you're not good enough, because you are. It's only the messages that we get from social media and marketing that tell us that we're not good enough. You wasn't born into this world thinking that you're not good enough because you don't have thin thighs. That is something that social media and society has taught you to believe, but that is not true. That is simply an opinion, and that is an opinion we have been conditioned to believe. The challenge really is to form new thoughts and form new beliefs about ourselves, because as I said, society and social media has conditioned us for years. I don't even know where this all began, but it has conditioned us to believe that we are inadequate in some way without looking a certain way or without having a certain product. So these messages that we get all the time are subliminally and subconsciously telling us that we are not good enough. So it's our mission, really, our individual responsibility to challenge those thoughts. Those thoughts are damaging. When we think things like, I'm not good enough, or I'm not thin enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'll be better when I've lost weight, or I'll be better when I dye my hair or buy these expensive shoes, I'll be better when I've got that outfit, I'll be better when I have that job, or when I have that car, or when I live in that house. All of these thoughts keep us stuck and keep us from living the life that we are living right now. Now, shit's getting deep right now, like real deep. This is a personal story from me right now. Last year, I lost somebody who was very close to me in my family, and he was very young, and it really hit home to me how important life actually is, that you only get one life, and we spend it hating ourselves because of social media, because of society. And we spend so much of our energy trying to be somebody else. Oh my God, I'm getting really emotional. It really upsets me that, and I fall into this trap too. Like, there are times when I feel low about myself, but it takes practice to step out of that trap, to step out of that constant comparison, constant looking at other people and wishing that you was them, when in all honesty you have this one life that you need to live. And if you are wasting your time, your energy, hating your body, hating yourself, that life is going to be taken away at some point. You're not going to live forever. I'm sorry to get so blunt, but that is the honest truth. And it really hit home with me last year when that happened, because I realised I'd lived such a long time caring about what other people thought of me, and like worrying about what other people thought of me. And don't get me wrong, I still do at times, but it's a constant process of like pushing against that fear of judgment, fear of not looking as good as other people, but really just taking life by the fucking balls and going for it and living your life, enjoying life as you are, and fully embracing who the fuck you are, because you are not going to be on this earth forever. We need to honestly start embracing who we are and really just appreciate life. Is honestly too short to hate ourselves or spend so much time hating ourselves and comparing ourselves to other people. Now, I know this logically, but if you have a habit and a behaviour, and it has become a habit for you of comparing yourself, you may even find it very difficult to stop comparing yourself, that maybe it's so automatic for you that you feel like it's a part of you and it's something that you can't actually stop. So I'm gonna share my tips personally. So the first one is very, very basic, but it's super, super important. We need, in order to change a behavior, we need to first change our environment. So what I mean by this is changing who you follow, who you see on a day-to-day basis. If your Instagram is full of, you know, supermodels, Victoria's Secret models, Kendall Jenners, all of those kind of things, and you are feeling that you compare yourself to them and it's having an impact on your self-esteem, what I mean is those people that you're following, if they're having an impact on your self-esteem and it's making you feel shit, then unfollow those people. Start attracting and start following more people that are diverse, because believe me, and I made a post on this on my Instagram not long ago, but there are so many different bodies out there, and we only fixate on one type of body that we want, whereas we need to look at everybody that is out in the world. Some people are taller, some people are fatter, some people are curvier, some people are more muscular, some people are skinny, some people are bony. All of these different kind of people, they are out there, but we only fixate on the Kendall Jenners of the world. So we need to open our Instagram or social media feed to those other people so that we are training our brains on a regular basis that, oh, actually, my stomach is normal because I have rolls. That person has rolls too. That's no big deal. That person has dimples. That person has cellulite. That person has stretch marks. Rather than just seeing the same kind of body that's telling you and your brain that you are not good enough as you are because you don't look like these people that you're following. Instead, unfollow the people that aren't serving you and open up to all of the other kinds of bodies out there, and teach your brain that it is not one type of body that's in the world right now. So that obviously goes with social media, the magazines that you read, if you read magazines, the social media that you take in, or just the media that you take in generally. Just open up your world to more diversity, to more different shapes and sizes, to more different types of people. So even on YouTube, follow different type of people. Don't just follow, you know, one type of person. Follow a mixture of people so that you're getting a taste of every single type of person and you're not just fixating on one type of person. My second tip is when you are noticing yourself comparing yourself, so maybe you've been on social media and you're scrolling through and you suddenly start feeling quite inadequate. You know, when this happens, you start feeling a little bit low, a little bit like my life seems shit, or I feel gross compared to that person, or that person's lost loads of weight. Step number one is catch yourself. Catch yourself in that moment that you have compared yourself. So catch yourself firstly when you've started to notice that you're feeling quite inadequate. Notice that that trigger has happened, okay? And for that moment, I would personally put your phone away and just recognize the thought that you have just thought. Maybe you've thought, I'm not as good as her, or she's thinner than me, or she's got a bigger bum than me, she's got bigger boobs than me. I don't feel as good. She's got a better lifestyle than me. She's got more money. She's got a better car, whatever. Notice the thought that you have just thought. So you could do this by either journaling. I personally love journaling, or you could literally speak it out loud. You could voice memo it yourself, or you could just sit and observe your own thoughts. Now, this is a tool that I teach my own clients how to do, but it takes practice, so just go easy on yourself with this. But personally, I would recommend journaling first off because it's much easier. But journal out the thoughts that you are thinking. So maybe you could literally write out, I'm feeling inadequate right now because I just went on so-and-so's Instagram and I've seen that they've lost weight, or that they've got a new job, or they've got a new baby, whatever. It's made me feel low about myself because I thought I am not there, so I am not as good. So you are seeing this objectively. You are seeing this as a third person, rather than, the key here is to not get sucked into that thought. You are seeing the thought objectively. You are seeing it from an outside perspective rather than thinking it in yourself going, I am not good enough. You are seeing, oh, that is the thought that I have just thought from seeing this image by this person. So once you've done that, you've written down all the thoughts that you've had. Maybe it's only a couple of thoughts, maybe it's a lot. Just go as deep as you can. Step 3 is to question it. So question your thoughts. So if you've thought, for example, I am not thin enough, so therefore I'm not as good as that person. Question that thought and just say, is that honestly 100% true? And drop into your body on this. You come away from your critical mind, your inner critic. Your inner critic will always tell you that you're not good enough, that you're not thin enough, that you're not pretty enough, whatever. And just ask yourself, do I honestly believe that this is true? Is there nothing good about me compared to that person? And does that person being the way that they are mean that I am not as good? And ask yourself honestly, and usually more often than not, you will realise that actually that is a very irrational thought. And this is the deep work that I do with my own clients. We recognise our inner critic and the stories that they tell us, on a regular basis that we're not good enough. But we start to separate ourselves from that and see it from an objective perspective rather than being consumed by that inner critic. When we're consumed by that inner critic controls our life. It makes us avoid going out socially because we don't feel good enough. It makes us look at other people in a judgmental way. We live life only 50% of the time because we're not in the moment. We're living through our inner critic, our ego. So this process is all about recognising that inner critic, recognising the stories that it tells us and seeing it and realising that that is not true. So step 4 is about thinking or journaling. I love journaling, so I would personally recommend to journal. Journal all of the things that you love about yourself. And I say love if you're not at that stage yet, if your confidence is very, very low. Start with just the things either you accept about yourself or the things that you like about yourself. So it could literally be, I like my intelligence, I like my eyebrows, I like my nose, I like my dog, I like my relationship, I like the person that I am when I am with this person, I like my sense of humour, I like how good at my job I am. All of these different kinds of things. It doesn't have to be body related if you are not there yet, but it's about understanding the things that, it's about picking out the things that we do appreciate and start building on those. Self-confidence and self-love doesn't happen overnight, especially when we've been conditioned for years and years telling us that we are not good enough because we don't look a certain way. So build up on that and really nail down everything that you love about yourself or accept about yourself. It could be that you're a really good friend, or you're a really good partner, or you're a really good mother, whatever comes up for you, and just sit with those thoughts a little bit and just recognize, you know, yeah, I am a damn good mother, or I am a really good best friend, I'm loyal, I'm resilient. All of these different kinds of qualities, really think about those and think about the person that you are. And if you really wanted to go deeper with this, and I mean real deep, you could think of yourself as a third person. So if you were sitting down with you and having a coffee with you, so literally imagine yourself having a coffee with yourself, but as another person. So as if you are your best friend, or that you are a friend that you're having coffee with, and you, your body, is telling you the things that you are feeling. So you, your body, says to you, your soul, your personality, I feel really low about myself, I feel disgusting, I feel gross right now, I don't feel good enough. What would you say to that person? What would you say to your best friend if you were feeling, if they were coming to you for advice and they were feeling really low? What would you say to them? If you're a parent, you could do this with your daughter or your son. Just imagine that conversation. If they were coming up to you hating themselves and comparing themselves to other people, what would you tell them? And give that love to you. So if it was a best friend, if it was a son or daughter, share that love with yourself. And that is a super, super powerful exercise, because deep down, if you are a mother, if you are a really good friend to people, and they came to you feeling really, really distressed about how they looked, chances are you would be distraught knowing that they felt bad about themselves. You'd be able to pick out a million different things. I know personally, all of my friends I absolutely adore, and barely any of those qualities come down to how they look. That how they look is like a bonus. I appreciate everything about them, but it's about them as their personality. It's about them and how they make me feel. Think about those qualities about you. How do you make other people feel? How do you show up? And what good qualities do you have that other people appreciate? You could even ask certain friends that you have a good relationship with, or your partner or family, and ask them to write out different qualities that they enjoy about you, so that you get that change of perspective. And the more that you focus on these good things, the more you start to embody those good things, the more you start to appreciate you for who you are. And that is what this is all about. It's not a quick fix, and it's not going to be a quick fix, but it's like working a muscle. The more you build on something, the stronger it gets. And those kind of things build up your self-esteem, they build up your confidence. And you realise more and more that us and our time on this earth has less to do with how we look, and it's more to do with how we feel, how we make others around us feel, our connections, the experiences that we have, and the memories that we make. No one, and I know you've heard this a million times, but no one in their life is going to remember you for how much you weighed or how big your thighs were. It literally doesn't matter one little bit. No one gives a shit. I hope that's not too blunt for you, but I really hope you have enjoyed this video. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you are new, if you would like to see more. And of course, let me know any future suggestions for other videos that you would like me to talk about, and I will be sure to do that for you. Of course, as well, I have a private Facebook support group for women struggling with their relationship with their food, their body image. So I will leave a link to that down below, and it is completely free. Just click and you can access that Facebook by sending a request to join. And follow me on Instagram. I share lots of good tips over on my Instagram. And also I have a podcast called the Coffee and Cake Podcast, if you would like to hear more of these kind of chats, live chats, all of that good stuff. With all that being said, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!